Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion, Plays Binding of Isaac AFTERBIRTH Plus. We have to unlock the Lost. There's two ways we can unlock the Lost. One of them is we go through the roundabout series of died this place as this person to this enemy, etc., etc. And you do that perfectly and you unlock the Lost. The other one is you die in a sacrifice room with the missing poster, I should say, as your trinket. In Afterbirth, dying with this trinket causes you to respawn as the Lost, and dying in a sacrifice room while holding this trinket will now unlock the Lost character. So the way I see it, obviously, chat was 100% right. We should have been doing the Lost unlocks as we got them, or as we got the opportunity to do so. However, I'm just going to do Eden runs. Eventually, we'll get the missing poster. We'll have a fun time rediscovering what it's like to play as Eden. And then, in due time, potentially even in this episode, we'll make it happen. There's things we can do to augment it, like we can take Mom's box of trinkets as well from the shop. This is like, we're the keeper. We're starting with the piggy bank and wooden nickel. CS mate? Scarlet? That's not really, didn't really make sense. Great rate of fire, bad speed, damage is okay. Apart from that, a relatively okay run, to be honest with you. The worst thing about this run is this, you know, Lori Petty tank girl hairstyle that I don't fully understand really what's... It's like they're rhino... I don't want to be the guy... They're not even rhino horns. They're more like ibex horns or something like that. I don't want to be the guy, you know, he's 100 years old. He's like, I don't get it. Why all these pretty ladies shaving the sides of their head and then doing the weird comb over. I get that. I understand that, okay? I don't necessarily understand fully shaved 2 rhino horns coming out of the top. But maybe, I mean, you're talking to a dude who's bald. So I can't really claim in any way, shape, or form to be the authority on follicular-related, you know, the arts of the hair, if you know what I mean. The coiffed arts. So I'll just leave it at that. I understand it. I don't like this room, and as a result, I am going to leave. Dude, I gotta be honest. So we had Midas Touch Semi recently. We weren't able to really make it work. I'm hopeful that this is gonna change that. Or that this is gonna make up for that, at least. Bad gas. One makes you small. This is one of the largest first floors I've ever seen, I think. It is just outrageously large. I'm not really complaining. I mean, that's not even the boss room that's up there, though, which is kind of outrageous in its own right. I know I keep using outrageous, but it is of outrage. It is creating... Oh, speaking of which, it is creating outrage at the present moment, deep within me. So most people probably would have been like, don't use the stars card so early because it doesn't benefit you. You know, you save yourself backtracking only. Man, that was poor damage. You save yourself from backtracking only. You don't save a key. You don't teleport out of a curse room or something like that. But we did turn some of these guys into not champions, which is good. If you'll excuse me, sir. Oop, almost got me there. I'll pay you Tuesday for a spirit out today? I don't know where that's coming from. Okay. We're not quite going to be... like at shop levels of money, but we're going to be well off financially for a first floor here pretty soon. Never mind, we are totally going to be at shop levels, but if we're at shop levels, I'd rather stay at shop levels for the next floor so we have a chance at an Eternal Heart. Yeah, I was going to say this is... Okay, let's not triple down on that bad action there. I would prefer to live. What are you doing, brain? My brain's like operating in slow-mo right now. When I need it to be rojo caliente. That's Spanish for faster. Excuse me. Okay, what have you done to yourself there? Speaking of faster, we do get a speed upgrade. Not really what I'm looking for, but that's alright. Now we have 1.5 HP, and it's not my finest moment to have left us in that situation, in case that's not abundantly clear. That being said, still well off. And remember, Our goals here are actually to be less goal-oriented. This is like an Isaac vacation. Our workplace is sending us out. They said, hey, you know, we got business interests on Hawaii. You want to go out? You got a meeting Thursday morning, but the rest of the 5 days, just enjoy yourself. If you can get some work done, by all means, but, you know, it's a mental health thing. It's important. Get back to what we love about Isaac, you know, rediscover how Isaac gets its groove back. We will definitely go to this room. The actual worst case scenario is that it's a bad library, which is still pretty okay for a key. But obviously I'm expecting it to be a shop, and if it is a shop, we got the cash for it. 2 keys anyway. So it is a shop. BFF is good, but I kind of want to buy this. And BFF is great. I kind of want to maximize our chances of getting, like, Mom's box of trinkets. I'll take Tarot Cloth. I'll settle for Tarot Cloth. I think that that's, like, more than acceptable. And we got 2 Emperor cards. All right. More power to you, I suppose. I'm going to be a large idiot. I'm going to continue to be a large idiot. I'm going to crack that open. I'm actually a genius. Of the luckiest variety ever, but we got Cricket's head for a single key. We might not be able to go to our item room, but not all item rooms in Isaac are created equal. If we miss an item room to pick up one of the best damage augmenters in the game, sign me up. That's a great deal. Almost anything else on Earth, do not sign me up. Buying a pair of pants at the Gap? Don't take that yet. Hey, can I just get your email address? I'm sorry, you cannot. I understand why you would want to have it. It's a personal information thing. I'm going to be a stickler about it. Do not sign me up. We could go back. This is stupid, and I'm going to do it anyway. It's a mental health thing, okay? Alright, so we are now, dare I use the O word again? Outrageously strong. We have piercing shots, a much better rate of fire. Wow, it was close. Relative to when we first came down to the floor, our damage has, like, tripled. We only have to worry about surviving. You remember what the Offspring said on Americana? There's more to living, babe, than only surviving. I'm not there, but I'm still trying. I always thought that was very motivating. I don't know what I'm talking about, okay? I'm just trying to distract myself from the fact that I don't know how much HP. What on earth? It was the luckiest crawl space of all time. Lemon Mishap. It's okay, but to be honest, I'd rather have the money, I think. And then here we grab this. Lemon Mishap is not bad. I just wish that the urine was larger. I can probably afford to get hit once. I really don't want to push our luck after that. I do see a tinted rock. I would rather purchase a spirit heart if I could. But we'll see if that does or doesn't get itself done here. So far, so good, though. And the other reason, by the way, that I'm going to keep wooden nickel is we need money in order to make sure that we have a chance to purchase Mom's box of trinkets, which is probably the most likely way for us to get missing poster. So we're gonna, like that, like that. We're gonna keep it going. And I wouldn't necessarily say it worked out perfectly, but I don't think it worked out badly. We're now at 0 money, but we should at least have 2.5 spirit hearts total, I think. Let's see what the game says. 2.5, right on the nose there. Blind Rage. We'll take it. I think I am going to Emperor card. My reasoning is really that if we get HP, I'd like to know. I'd like to have it ASAP. Magic Mushroom. Okay, this is wonderful. Obviously, the downside here is that it does take away Whore of Babylon, but I hope you enjoyed the little preview of Whore of Babylon damage. We'll probably get back there. We might not, you know, be able to build a house there. We might not be able to even be part of a timeshare there. But I think we have a chance to get back there if the right kind of permutations present themselves. Probably go pay to win. Pay to win is one of those trinkets I always mess up. I think it's a reroll machine in every item room, but it might be a reroll machine in every shop. It might be both, I don't know. And the more I question myself, the more I find myself coming under increasing certainty, and I just want to lash out. Just want to say, of course I know. I've played so much Isaac. What are you talking about? I don't know what a trinket does. What kind of fool wouldn't know what every trinket does after 2,800 hours of playing The Binding of Isaac Rebirth and its analogs? Dude, this is exceptional. Considering that, you know, we got very little momentum on the first floor, we have really made up for that. Like, this is... I'm trying not to use the word. Very good, and in no way does it create the sense of outrage within me. So we don't know what the shop contains. Don't love that. Kind of want to take a look around. We got the time. I mean, we're strong enough to do boss rush, whether we get Horde Babylon active or not. But I kind of want to look around and see if there's more special rooms. You never know. This is kind of like the right time for us to do it. You never know if we're going to get like a Dagaz room. There is a self-sacrifice room, so potentially it might be sensible. I am so, like, trained to use the wooden nickel on rooms with combat now. Just trying to see, like, where would we... I was gonna say, do we have to fly to place this bomb properly? That seems stupid. That's a stupid expression. We already have Magic Mush. You know what? Not gonna buy the item. I think I'm just gonna leave. Gives us the arcade chance on the next floor. All other things being equal, we'd rather not buy things sight unseen from the shop. Okay. I don't want to be a stickler about this, okay? What is a stickler? I do not know. It's somebody who cares about the details. So in truth, the reality of the situation is I'm rarely a stickler about anything, I guess. But I don't want to be a stickler about this. I preferred the arcades in Afterbirth when... you know, they were guaranteed to have a blood bank in them. Sure, sometimes you end up getting a Judgment, Demon Judgment sort of situation. And that's great. That's a wonderful situation. However, I would like to get away. I'd like... What is that song? Tainted Love. There we go. I don't know. There we go. It was like 4 seconds of mental searching, but... I was like, might as well face it, you're a tainted love. So Black Rune. We have work to do with Black Rune. We haven't necessarily used it well over the past, let's say, month. Same with Crooked Penny, which we have apparently completely forgotten how to use. I will just pick up Leech of the Brian variety. It's a decent item. I hate Mega Fatty. Mega Fatty, you have too much HP. Has anyone ever told you that? And of the champion version, you know, trying to dodge the gate attack is just very, very difficult. It does not inspire outrage in me in the very least. It's mesmerizing watching our normal shots turn into, you know, shots of double the size. Excuse me, sir. I may not have graduated from etiquette school, but I don't think it's particularly good manners to shoot spiders out of your mouth in an attempt to hit your guests. Alright? That should be done behind closed doors, if at all. Are there still... What is... And this is where I now find myself turning to Wikipedia. What is a finishing school? Finishing school. It's a school for young women that focuses on teaching social graces and upper-class cultural rights as a preparation for entry into society. What? The 1960s marked the decline of the finishing school. Alright, I'm not really that mad. The 1990s saw a revival of the finishing school. What? Graham MacDonald claims the educational lady salons of the late 1800s led to the formal finishing institutions evidenced in Switzerland around that time. At their peak, thousands of wealthy young women were sent to the dozens of finishing schools available. A primary goal was to teach students how to acquire husbands. What? What world is this, dude? That's crazy. I'm not even trying to get into a discussion about, you know, a woman's role in society. It's more like, you need... I know, it was different back then, okay? But I'm still gonna say what I was gonna say, which is, you really need a school to teach you how to get a husband? Also, what are they teaching there? Is that, don't send your daughters to this school. I don't know what goes on behind closed doors. It's not like that, NL. It's wholesome. Was there, like, a finishing school for men that taught you how to find a wife? I guess in the cynical ages of the, you know, late 19th century, that was just a school that taught you how to read so that you could get a great job, making the equivalent of like 6 figures in today's economy, like $12 a week. Excuse me. I wish that our leech looked a little different from the other leech. Like, we got Brian down here, and then we got Kelly over the other. See, this sort of reference to Canadian politics. It's not necessary. Remember her? 99 Bombs is very good, but strike while the iron's hot, you know? Halo of Flies is also pretty good. I just want to put money in this machine. Oh, dude, that's actually, like, really good. So, I went through a couple of different phases of how to feel about that, and I ended on feeling pretty good that we picked up Taurus. Because we also have Midas Touch. So we can use, especially if we get another speed upgrade, we got great opportunities to make Taurus do good things for us across a couple of different spectrums. So I think we got the best item out of it. We do need another speed upgrade to really make it pop, but that's okay. Apart from that, 99 Bombs probably would have been the best. Halo of Flies would have been okay. And of course, you know, Mom's Perfume is, oh, thank you. And I don't think we got a speed upgrade there. I was trying to see, but we also had Taurus activated like the same time. We did not get a speed upgrade there. Yeah, we could have gotten a lowered tier delay, but again, that's kind of not that important in the whole scheme of things. I actually forgot that those guys could shoot. I'm having, like, flashbacks to an airplane movie I watched. I'm pretty sure, like, 3 years ago. I don't know what brought it into my head, but I was like... I guess when I said etiquette school, my brain, you know, reactivated a connection from, like, 2013. And it was like, didn't I watch a movie about people in, like, Alabama who are still sending their daughters to debutantes balls and, like, finishing school and stuff like that? Strange world, man. Again, I'm genuinely, because I'm coming from a place of ignorance. Go, go, go. I'm not insulting it, because I just don't understand it. It just seems so foreign to my present environment. Maybe I would benefit. I gotta get, like, my Louis Theroux on. Start a Kickstarter campaign, send me to finishing school. Learn some actual manners. But manners always seemed, growing up, I was always told that I had good manners. For a child, that essentially means that you're quiet. You know, you don't throw dirt at other kids. I think in this case, you gotta go with Book of Shadows. Especially with Midas Touch being active. I think this is the right call. I love Book of Shadows because it actually allows you to shoot at the same time. Anyway, but you know, I think there's some manners that are worth teaching, like, you know, keep your mouth shut, don't interrupt people. That's a big one. Everybody in society needs to learn that. I'm bad about it as well, you know? I'll admit, and it's a terrible habit. The speed up is so good. Oftentimes, I've tried to be a good listener, but I'm kind of like a naturally sort of impatient person. Not that that's a great excuse. But if someone's talking, in my head, I have finished their story for them by the time they get, like, you know, 20% into it. And I find myself, like, wanting to jut into the conversation. Be like, I get it, let's move on to the next thing. It's a bad habit. I see, so maybe, again, finishing school would be worth something for me. But when it's like, this is the spoon you use, it's so good, but it's not that cool. It's cool. Yeah, okay, let's go for that. I mean, it's so much worse than the miter, but it's maybe more fun. And that's why we're playing this video game in the first place, I hope. It's like, this is the, you know, your soup spoon goes to the left of your salad fork, which is, oh, that's different, that's the cheesecake fork, and you only use this one for serving mead, but you only serve mead, you know, like prior to Labor Day if it's a leap year, and you know, those are the kind of manners where I'm like, I get it, you know, like, there was no internet back in the medieval era. Dude, we should donate. And that must have been tough. And nobody, oh, right, we fought greed. Nobody knew how to read, for the most part. You know, like a book was the equivalent of like $30,000. It's like buying a car. I don't know if we're gonna make boss rush. But at the same time, did we have to make up all these, like, I get you're rich, why don't you just like do something? Instead of spending a year trying to memorize the you know, Boolean logic of when to use a fork with 3 prongs versus a fork with no prongs, you know what I mean? NL, are you alright? What the hell is a fork with no prongs? Look, I slept pretty badly last... I had one of those weird sleeps where, like, I went to bed early, and I believe that there is something to this theory. I went to bed early, and my brain was like, you're not ready for bed. So instead, I sat there listening to a podcast with my eyes closed until like 2 hours after the time that I normally go to bed. Like my brain was punishing me for trying to go to bed early. And then I woke up a couple of times over the course of the night. I did the thing where I like, and sometimes this works out well and sometimes it works out terribly, but I open my eyes. Normally I get up at like 10. And come on, look, I work hard. I make my own hours, but yeah, I get up at 10, okay? It's not the point of the conversation. That's what I'm trying to say. It's an ancillary issue. We're being distracted here. I don't really want temperance, but we could use it as an opportunity to maybe get blood bag. But I really like just walking into enemies with Book of Shadows active instead. So I opened my eyes and was like, oh my god, it's bright out. I've overslept. It's probably like 1. And then I go out and I like pour a coffee. Have a glass of water. That's right, I have coffee and water in the morning. You got a problem? Sorry, Diplopia. We're looking for the box of trinkets. And we'll probably purchase a couple of things in the interim period, like maybe every Spirit Heart for sale. So I go to take the first sip of my coffee, and then I look at my phone, and I'm like, oh, it's actually 5:51 a.m. So I try to go back to bed, but my brain has already started the whole, like, you know, waking up routine. I forgot we had tarot cloth as well. You get the idea. Pandora's box fun, but it's not really what we're looking for here. Sure, 24 keys is enough. And we don't need anything else, I think. Especially if we want to have a small chance of doing boss rush, but it seems unlikely right now. I think we should give it a try. It's either item room or boss rush. I think it's worth seeing what boss rush has on offer while we're here. At the expense of our item room, admittedly, but... And no Krampus. Did we already fight Krampus? Absolutely, we'll take Brimstone. Is also going to put us in Whore of Babylon state. Absolutely, we'll take Polaroid. See what we got going on in here. These are trash, so we're going to ignore them. Rubber Cement Brimstone, I forgot, it's a cool combination. So yeah, that's, you know, if you want to know how you create the kind of brain that says things like a fork with no prongs, that's how you do it. Put on an incredibly somber podcast about the First World War, lay in bed with your eyes closed in some kind of cruel pseudo-sleep, and then accidentally wake up like 4 hours in advance of your alarm, and you're gonna be saying, well, why didn't you just get up? Well, because, like, I don't know, there's something, like, psychological about it. Like, when I woke up, I thought that I felt like it was time for me to wake up. As soon as I looked at my phone, like, a wave of nausea just passed over me and was like, oh, right, it's 5 a.m. This is how you're supposed to feel right now. Anyway, I'm not complaining. And I mean that sincerely. I'm an easygoing sort of guy. Despite the fact that I'm a you know, a young adult male with blood pressure substantially higher than it should be for someone of his age. And despite the fact that I yell on the NLSS all the time, I am pretty laid back. When people say, like, hey, oh, dude, where do you want to go for dinner? My answer is almost always, where do you want to go? And it's not because I'm just passive. So as I was picking it up, I was like, we shouldn't pick this up. We're gonna lose Whore Babylon. It's because I genuinely just love all foods. I think I have low standards for food. People are like, I'd never go back to that place. I had a bad experience. I've had restaurants I won't go back to because the service was bad. But I've never eaten at a well, that's not true. I've only very rarely eaten at a restaurant and been like, yeah, the food that they made did not taste good. You know when you get served and then the server comes back like 2 minutes... Excuse me. Comes back like 2 minutes later and is like, is everything okay? You always say yes. Or you say, could you bring me some ketchup, please? But every time I say yes, it's 100% been the truth. And I mean that sincerely. Dude, okay, we gotta try. It would have been a great time for a tears, or sorry, not a tears down, obviously, but it would have been a great time for an HP down. The bookworm plays are so good. This is a very fun run. I kind of feel bad that it's as fast as it is. Let's go... I was gonna say let's go see Hush, but we don't really get to do that. We're gonna go fight Hush, and that's probably gonna be a little annoying. That's okay. Especially because we don't know our HP. Goathead is useless right now. We don't want to pick up that key yet. We can use it for a charge. Serpent's Kiss. Beautiful, and also makes this next suggestion doable. Why do that? Honestly, rubber cement is the answer to your question. I want to see what happens with, like, our weird rubber cement action here. I'm gonna try the pill. Just good to know. Try to donate a little bit of money here as well. But yeah, genuinely not complaining. I went through this is now complaining, but I went through a period in my life where, and this is why I'm sympathetic to, you know, other streamers when they're like, my sleep schedule is messed up. Occasionally I joke and I say, maybe you should stop staying up until 7 a.m. playing, you know, Battle Right. Probably make it a little easy. You can't break... The thing with the routine is, if you want to have a sleep schedule, you have to stick with it, like, pretty much every day. You can't take 2 days and be like, my sleep schedule doesn't apply on these days. Because when you make your own hours, you've got nobody that's like, hey, if you don't show up for work, you're fired. You know, you gotta... Anyway, the point is, I went through a time in my life where, when I was living in Korea, I didn't sleep for like 3 days, unaided by any chemical substance. I mean, I slept, but I slept for like, you know, under an hour, basically. Just terrible, terrible insomnia, and, you know, as kind of like a aftershock of that, usually I banked on there'd be like 1 day a week where I just couldn't get to sleep. You know, I'd toss and turn. Not necessarily related to anxiety or anything like that, but, you know, I was like one work day a week, I'm just gonna feel like trash. And honestly, as I've gotten older, I think this is the opposite for a lot of people, so I'm very thankful. That is now like 1 day every 2 months. We might actually die here, and I would be very displeased to have that happen, but we should have taken Battery Baby earlier. You know, to get multiple invincibility charges would have been sweet. We also probably should not have taken the dunce cap, but it does look sweet. I'm also kind of like biding my time, hoping that Serpent's Kiss ends up giving us some demon hearts from these flies. That's kind of my game plan there. This is gonna be a problem. Yep. Demon hearts, please. So, I'm well versed in the art of, you know, tolerating having not slept. Oh, this is real bad. So yeah, I'm more than content to be playing video games here. One of the worst days of my life, for real. I was 17, and I had finished my first year of university, and I did not have a job. So, as you might expect, sorry, I was 18, having finished my first year of school, but I don't want to get this a separate discussion. Everybody always goes, how can you be 18 after your first year of college? It happens! Fellow November and December birthdays, rise up. If you've ever been corrected. Oh, I was 3 when I started junior kindergarten. No, you weren't. You were 5. No, I wasn't. You weren't there. You were in North Carolina at the time. I've never... You lived in Baku, Azerbaijan. I've never spoken to you in my life before. Okay, we're on our last bit of HP. We're not going to make this happen, I think. I got a job at a... Well, I didn't get a job. I interviewed and did, like, some tests at this temp agency. I was going to bed at, like, 1 a.m. every night. And then I got a call at, like, 9 p.m. And they were like, hey, do you want to be a mover for a day? It starts at 5 a.m. tomorrow. And I was like, I can't do that. 5 a.m.? You got to give me, like, at least a couple days to adjust. But then my parents, and I think it was a good learning lesson, but I did hate them for a little bit, and I was living with them at the time, so they, you know, got to call a few more shots than they would if I was living alone. We're like, you're not doing anything, so you're taking the job. You know, like, welcome to the real world. You gotta sing for your supper sometimes. So I was like, sure. I slept for like 2 hours. Oh, I hate myself for taking so much stupid damage. Slept for like 2 hours. Was a mover with like 250-pound hulking, you know, blue-collar, salt-of-the-earth adult males who could lift like a whole fridge by themselves, and I was like, I'm gonna take this little cardboard box, and then at the end of the day, you get paid, and you're like, that's like $7 an hour. In Canada, 10 years ago. Anyway. So to play video games and potentially have people leave some comments and say, NL, why did you do this instead of this? It's a privilege, dude, on 4 hours of sleep or 12. So I apologize for my death, but I did enjoy the events that led up to it. For now, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.